Welcome back, everybody, to Raiders Coast to Coast with your host. I'm 401 Raider Jeff, and my guy next to me is none other than LV Raider 10. So what we're going to do tonight is we're going to cover the Chiefs-Raiders game a little bit. I mean, what was supposed to be a statement game, like possibly go in there and beat their ass, and they handed our ass to ourselves.
Yeah.
So we're going to try and break it down a little bit. Then we'll talk about some other things that I've got set up. And then,
Nice.
yeah, I'm still mortified from last week's game.
Yeah, it was
Holy
not a good
fuck.
showing.
But, all right, let's do it.
As Charles Woodson would say, Raiders. Yeah.
Well, hello. So, Nate, what's up? How you doing today?
Good. Chilling today. Yeah.
That was a good show last night.
It was.
That was good. We didn't get heated. Nobody really got heated. I know the chat was heating up though last night.
It really was.
So just for everybody that's aware, what I'm going to do is we're going to do the same thing Nate and I did last week. We're both on subscriber only mode right now. But in about 15 minutes or so, I'm going to switch mine over to members only. So if you want to continue watching the show, you got to go to Nate's channel and watch it. Again, we need to get people over to his channel. It's LV Raider 10. We need to get people over there, populate his channel, get his subscriptions up. We got to get him the watch time, the likes, the comments, everything. So we've been doing this the last week or two, trying to really get his number game up. So in about, like I said, 15 minutes. So it's 9:55 now. So by 10 past 10, I'm shutting down and making it members only on my channel. All right. So let's check the chat. Let's see who's here. We got Robert Pena checked in at like 4 o'clock this afternoon. Jason Downs, Raiders first down. So he changed his name on here. Nice.
That's nice. I like that
Oh,
one.
and Robert just checked in at 9:32. I'm not Bueno.
What up, Bueno?
Our guy Rorschach. He liked the old intro music better. Sorry. I get Boston rave vibes from new music. Accelerators in the house. What's going on, brother? How you doing? Let's see. Hits Boys in the house. Arnie's here.
What up, Arnie?
240 subscribers, but I'm about to unsubscribe. Oh. Just another DJ's in the house. What's up, brother? How you doing, man?
What up, man?
So, getting into last week's game. I mean, there's no good to cover. You know, like we talked about yesterday, the positives that come out of that game is Geno didn't throw an interception and the game ultimately ended.
Yeah.
That's about the only positive.
Legit.
This is exactly what we said last night. What do you? I'm going to ask you some questions, and then you'll get your take, and then I'll throw something in a little bit here and there if I need to. Do you still think Geno Smith is still the answer, or do you think his starting job is in jeopardy now?
I don't think his starting job is in jeopardy because there's not really a better option right now. We've seen what happened when Kenny Pickett went in. He immediately fumbled the ball. And if we're complaining about turnovers and that immediately happens, that means he's probably going to have some trouble with some turnovers, especially if he's thrusted into, mid-season into a starting job. But that's not really a good thing. Like, not a lot of people will have success that way. It's kind of rare to see that. And then, like, Aiden O'Connell, I know will be back as well. I know it's like really divisive with people and Aiden O'Connell, just like in general. People hate him, people love him. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know if he would be a better fit than Geno Smith. I feel like he'd probably protect the ball a little bit better, maybe a bit. But from, looking from last year, he didn't really do that either. So it's kind of hard to tell. So I think just for the fact that Geno Smith is a veteran quarterback, as well as the money that we paid him, it only makes sense to go ahead and keep him as the starting quarterback for the rest of the year.
Yeah, I think what probably saved his ass is the fact that he didn't throw an interception in that shitty ass game this past weekend. I agree. Marcus Banks is in the house. What's up, Marcus? Dude, I didn't ignore your email. I just had so much going on this afternoon that I had made the studio and I had already had stuff set up for how I wanted to do the show today. And I read it. It's not that I didn't respond to you. It's just been a real shitty day here at the house. So I had a lot going on. Arnie's in the house. Arnie, what a question right away. What are you looking forward to watching versus the Jaguars? Nate, I'll let you have that one first.
To me, it's mainly how this extra time, the bye week in between, has really changed. If it's changed anything, really. Like, if it's changed our approach going into a game, as far as game like management and game like scheme wise, if it's changed that, or if we're just gonna stick with the same old thing. I think initially that would be the biggest thing that I'm looking for, is if anything changes, like as far as play calling and stuff like that. That's initially, but then like more specifically, I would want to see Ashton Genty, how he does, coming back after a bye, and not a good performance after a Chiefs game that nobody had a good performance in. And then like if we try to get like our rookies more involved, if that's kind of in the cards. I'm not sure where obviously the coaching staff is with some of our rookies, like the guys we were talking about last night on the offensive line, and then trying to get Besh more targets, or Thornton maybe even more targets, because Jacoby Myers is likely on his way out. So that's really what I would want to see. But mainly it would be if adjustments are made from what we've been doing, because it's not been working.
Yeah, I agree with that. I would also like to see the rookies get out there on the offensive line. What do we got to lose at this point? There's not much to look forward to. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
After this past weekend's game, it just put me in such a bad funk with how we played. It's just, you could see it. There was no heart out there, especially once Max went down. That was it. That team had no heart, no spine, nothing. They were just flat as flat could be. Yeah, it just wasn't good. I give the young guys a chance to play at this point.
Yeah.
What else are we gonna do? Geo Max is in the channel. What's up, Geo?
What up, man?
Who's the worst performance? Who is worst performance coach on our team? Who's the best coach with poor talent? Ooh.
Worst has definitely got to be Brendan Carroll, for sure.
Yeah,
Because the fact that our offensive line regressed so majorly, and that's something that we didn't even think about happening. Obviously, we didn't expect to have like the best offensive line in the league. That was a given, but we didn't think that we would be possibly even the worst offensive line in the league. And when you regress that much after just less than an entire year, that's not good.
yeah. I would agree with you on the worst. The best, in all honesty, I probably Patrick Graham.
Yeah.
I mean, because we could have got blown out worse than 31 points. I mean, at least they held them to 31 points. I mean, less talents in the secondary, less talent being on the opposite side of the line, on the other side of the field from Max. It just overall lack of talent on that side of the ball, but yet we're still trying to keep it tight, but the offense isn't helping because the defense, look how much time they spent on the field. Over 44 minutes of the game on the field. That's a lot of time for defense to be out there. And not just quick strikes, too. Those are some long-ass drives they're out there for, And you're just watching that clock just tick, 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 and they're just still out there going. I'd have to go with that. Raider Paul's in the house. What's up, Raider Paul? Let's see. Who else just popped in? The nerve of Pete to get mad at Pickett for fumbling when Geno had been playing way worse. I think why I would put Pete Carroll with what you said, not Pete Carroll. Well, Pete Carroll would probably be mine, to be honest with you. And it's not even from the game; it's the press conference after. That just really that burned me. That burned me bad. That hurt. I've never heard a coach come out and talk like that. You know, it just feels like he's so lost. Gio says, I was all in for AOC starting last year, not this year. Let $1 million man earn his Kings, man. Yeah, but he's hurting us, man. Let's see. And then you wonder why you get kicked. You just don't stop. Arnie, question again. We have 53 players on our active roster. Which two need to be cut? Parham and Kappa. So it forces us to play the rookies.
Definitely Kappa for sure. I think that's without a shadow of a doubt is Kappa. And man, I don't even know, to be honest, the second one.
What's up,
Definitely
Eric Bell?
Kappa though, for sure.
Thanks, Jason. We are in pure shambles. It's about to be a mutiny in Titansville, to be honest. Yeah, you guys are just as bad as we are. Hey, at least you're suffering in our same misery, too. Yeah, it's like Bueno just said. We suffer together.
Yeah, exactly.
Get back to my notes here. Yeah, I'm pretty much what I just said too with the defense. You know, time on the field too long, and it still seemed like they didn't quit on the defense as much until Max went out. Once Max went out, that was it. That defense was just they basically said, "What the fuck? Who the hell out here going to play good enough to take over his spot?" You know, what do you think of the locker room morale going into the bye week and beyond now?
It's definitely got to be low after the performance that everybody put up after this weekend. Getting absolute belt to ass at 31-0 against the Kansas City Chiefs, who in the locker room, at least some of the players that have been in that locker room, they hate. Like it's a real rivalry to them. And so the fact that we didn't even put up a fight against the Chiefs that we are known to like very much dislike, it's got to be tough, especially to one of your leaders in Max Crosby, who got injured in the game and then didn't return. Of course, that's got to hurt him. And if your leader is hurting and not fully like into it, especially after that week, that's got to be tough for sure. I know they're not going to dwell on it for very long because you just got to have that mentality when you're in the league for sure. But it's not something that you can just wipe away as easy as it may seem because of how many points were put up and how big of a defeat it was. So yeah, it's definitely got to be tough and lingering in the back of players' minds, I think. But it's definitely good that we have a bye week, we have some extra time to try to reset our clocks and reset our whole mentality and try to get after the second half of this season. So
thanks, Rorschach. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, we had a little phone call a couple of weeks ago when he called me up.
Oh, dope.
Talked a little bit. Yeah, that was cool. Pete said Chiefs are not rivals. Yeah, that's another press conference.
Yeah,
that's another thing that he said that burned me. He doesn't have a good. He's not at the best at public speaking when it comes to Raiderisms and talking about the Raiders. I'm sorry, he's lost it. I just don't get it. What's up, Predator? What's up, brother? How you doing,
good,
man? I agree with LV. Pete's response to the rivalry talk disappointed me. Maybe he downplayed it in the media, but it showed on the field. Yeah. Jeff is evil. He's all Hollywood. That looks down. I'm a fucking asshole. I don't deny that. Oh, wait till you meet me. Ask Nate. He's met me in person. He knows what I'm like. let me ask you this then. What would you consider the most embarrassing part of this past game? Was it the offense, defense, or the coaching? If you had to pick one of those three.
If I had to pick one of those three, it has to be the coaching, because we went out there and it seemed like we weren't ready from the jump. Like from the beginning of the game, it seemed like we weren't ready to play. And that's not, I mean, obviously it does land on some of the players' shoulders because they're out there performing. But if you're going out there unprepared, that's for sure coaching. So I think that it definitely has to land on them. But on top of everything, I think it has to be the uh what is the word I'm looking for? Um, just the performance of the team in general. Like they went out there with absolutely no heart, and that's not a Raiders team that had. I don't know if I've ever seen a game that the Raiders go out there and have zero heart in. Like at least in some of the games we've been blown out, they try to fight back, or there's signs of life in somewhere. This game did
Yep.
not have any of that at all. So, yeah.
For me, I've seen a lot of Raider games through my life, and I really can't remember a game that they were just so flat on all aspects. Again, the only guy that did anything worth the shit out there was our punter. You know, he
Yeah.
was the most active on the team on Sunday because 6 punts in a game is ridiculous. That should never happen. On average, it's usually 2 or 3 you see for the most part. You know, yeah, you get your few where there's like 4 or 5. 6 punts. It just first of all, we didn't have the ball long enough to do anything because we couldn't get any first downs. We had 3 first downs the entire game.
Yeah.
Which kind of leads right into the next thing I was going to see is if you saw that there was any fight left in the players late in the game, or were they just checked out? I think they were checked out from early on.
Yeah.
It wasn't even a
Beginning.
question of late in the game. It's more of they were flat right from the start. You know, we had that one somewhat of a drive at the very start, and then that was it. It just done and over with. You know, there was no life, like you said. There was no life in this team. You know, you take their pulse, and they were flatlined.
Yep.
Let me get back to the chat here because there's a well, and that's yeah, but you got to remember that too, Accelerator. You look at the numbers of the tackles that some of our guys had; those were ridiculous numbers. That shows you how much their offense was on the field. You know, I think I looked it up the other day when I did the show with Chris on Monday. I think he had was it 16 or 18? He had 16 or 18, and then another player, I forget who it was, had like the other. Like there were 2 guys that had combined. One had 16 and the other one had 18 tackles. That includes tackles and assists.
Yeah.
That's an insane number for one game.
Oh, for
That's
sure.
crazy. You know? That's absolutely that just shows you how bad the front line was. Like, you know, our run defense. This is what Accelerator mentioned to me in the email, was talking about how great our run defense has been. You know, run defense wasn't that great this past weekend, and their offense, their running game ain't that great either. You know, what did you think about that performance with the run game on the defensive side?
I was surprised to see how efficient that the Chiefs were running the ball, especially in the goal line. Normally, we kind of do like a bend don't break kind of thing in the goal line. Like we're pretty decent at stopping the run. Sometimes, of course, obviously, like good running teams will, like the Colts did really well in the red zone running the ball. But for the most part, from what I've seen so far from this team, they've been decent at the goal line stopping the run. So the fact that the Chiefs did basically whatever they wanted to down there as far as running the ball, that's not great. Like in one of my shorts that's on my page, you see Booker get freaking blocked 12 yards down the damn field, and he's basically running the ball in for Isaiah Pacheco. Like, that is insane, dude. That cannot happen.
It's fucking Jason. They shouldn't get a week off. What the hell? What do they they already had their day off. They had their day off on Sunday. Fuck. That wasn't a football game. Yeah. The effort. We were defeated before we stepped on the field. Yep, absolutely. What's up, All Eyes? What's going on? Jay's in the house. What's up, Jay? Pete needs a Viagra before the next game to get him going. He needs something. What's up, Dave? Let's see who else is here. Cool Kev's in the house. What's up, Cool Kev?
What up, Cool Kev?
Alfredo's here. What's up, brother? A ball boy played like shit. This game is just so rough on so many levels. There's no one spot you can pick out and say that, yeah, we were okay, but we weren't okay here. So let me do this while we are still. All right, everybody that's in my channel, get your ass over to LV Rated 10s. I'm switching mine to members only. So if you want to continue watching the show, if you're not a member, you got to go to Nate's. So I am on members only as of right now. Let me just double check it, make sure it went through. Yep, members only mode. All right. So that forces everybody over to Nate's channel now. Let's see. Where were we? I feel like the Jets kid that got that. Oh, yeah, that interview. Did you see that? With the Jets?
Oh, yeah.
Kid?
I was born into it.
Bueno sent it to me earlier today. I was watching, and he goes, "We suck." He goes, "I'm a Jets fan. I was born into it." I said to Bueno, I said, "Dude, that kid had like 1,000-yard stare. Like there was nothing that was there was no life in that kid at that point. He was just so deadpan when he said it too. Not even like cracking a smile or nothing. That kid was just miserable looking. It's like, wow, that kind of was probably what we all look like on Sunday too.
No, really.
That was a great video, man. That was awesome. If we go after anyone before the deadline, we should go after a corner. Dude, there's so many holes.
Yeah.
Our defense wasn't any better. They had 5 drives over 70 yards, NFL record. The Chiefs took their foot off the gas and sat on the ball not to score the 31 points. Yeah,
they did.
We had 97 total, right? 90-something total yards.
93.
They had 3 drives that were 85 yards or more. One was 85. One, I think, was 97, and I think the other was 95 yards. They had more yards in one drive than we had the entire game. That's just crazy. That is just absolutely ridiculous. Let's see. I just want to catch up. I'm stuck with Nate. Just kidding. Good. I see a lot of links now, so that means everybody's over there for the most part. All right. So, oh wow, there's still more chat here too. I missed. God damn it. Oscar winning. Yeah, and they could have too accelerated. They could have had way more than 31 points. That could have just been so much worse than what it turned out to be. Where were we? All right, so we'll do a little roster reality check here. Who do you think should be playing and who do you think should be benched? Like, who's your first guy that you would bench right now and replace him with someone else on this roster?
That's a good question. Because the problem is with that is we're kind of thin everywhere as far as depth.
What's up, Israel?
Everyone who's starting now, everyone who's behind the starters has kind of lack of experience playing games. So it's hard to say, hey, like, for instance, if I wanted to say Caillou Blue Kelly, he's been bad. Let's just put Darian Porter. Well, Darian Porter hasn't played corner, and he barely learned the position a year or two ago. So to just throw him out there could possibly mess up his development and really, kill him on the mental side. Because if he gets continuously burnt, he's going to be afraid, and you don't want to have an afraid corner. Like, that's one of the worst things you could possibly have. So that's like just one example, but it's hard to really say because, like I said, it's kind of thin on the depth behind all of our starters. And I mean, you could say the offensive line, like it can't really get worse, but it really could. It really could
Yeah.
get worse. So if we throw in our offense again in the same kind of thing, if we throw in our offensive line rookie guys and they get torched every single game, you can mess up with their development. You can really get into their own heads, and then they're gonna not be as good prospects as we figure them to be. So it's tough. I think we just got to stick with what we got right now. To be honest, I think what we have right now is the best this roster is going to be constructed until people come back from injuries like Brock Bowers. Then obviously we can get better on that point. But until then, I think we just got to stay with what we got.
All right. So basically, on the offensive line, you're saying to stick with the veterans and not put the rookies in. Then,
Yeah.
all right. I mean, I can live with that. I guess. Mike Tinley, being a Raider fan is like being in an abusive relationship. Yeah, it is. That's it. TBH Lovelock's in the house. What's going on, man?
What up, man?
Let's see. JPJ to center, Rogers to right guard, bench Kelly, stop Porter. I don't think JPJ's going back to center.
No.
I think they're done with that move.
I do think JPJ is a better guard too. It's just that I think the person that we put at center, it was just such a wrong move. That's why everybody wants JPJ to go back to center.
Yeah. When I asked you that question, who should be benched? So Accelerator says start Caleb Rogers. Alfredo saying basically bench Kelly. He did not have a good game this past weekend either.
Nope.
Tinley, I'm going to say this. There is a major disconnect between Chip Kelly and Pete Carroll. I think Chip is more of an issue than people think. I don't think players like him much. Did you see the footage from that podcast with who the hell was it? I forget the players' names. They were from the Eagles. And they were talking about how Chip Kelly, how he doesn't like veterans.
Oh, LaShawn McCoy?
Yeah, that's the one. Like he doesn't treat players that are veterans walking in and basically saying like, "Hey, I'm this starter." Like in his book, nobody's a starter.
Yeah.
From year to year, you got to earn that thing again. That you got to earn your spot again, and that's where the whole JPJ thing comes up again, because of when he first got himself introduced to Genty. That was his first thing. He's like, "I'm your center," and they seem to think that might have been what set the coaching staff off,
Yeah.
especially Chip Kelly with JPJ, because it's like no one said that you were our starting center. You're just saying that yourself, type of thing. That's the narrative that's being pushed now too.
Right.
Is that that might have been the start of all this? And if that's the case, that's bullshit. To be honest with you, because that means you just don't like the guy because he said something. And really didn't even give him they might have set him up for failure to even make him not look good at center. You know, so they had to sit there and say, well, we need to move him out because he's not doing so hot here. Because they probably might have done stuff or put stuff in that he needs to really study for, and he just wasn't grasping it, you know? I don't know. I don't get what's going on with that whole JBJ thing, but it's pissing me off.
I mean, that's not out of the realm of possibility. Chip Kelly has been absolutely known to be kind of a dick and an asshole to players, especially to veterans and to rookies, like to everybody in general. If you watch people that were on those Niners and Eagles teams when he was the NFL head coach previously, they do not like him. They do not like him. And that's why when he came in as the OC, I was a little bit more open to it because he wouldn't be having control of the team. It wouldn't be, a complete dictatorship. He would have only a little bit of input as far as construction and things like that. But it seems like he kind of overstepped like everything so far.
Yeah. Well, and because that's one of the other things I think they said it in that show is Chip Kelly would pick on the rookies because he was afraid of some of the veterans. Like he wouldn't give them shit because of who they were, type of thing.
Yeah.
So he would just play his little games with the veterans, and none would be the wiser sometimes. So it's like that's playing some fucking head games with people.
Yeah.
So I know you already answered about not benching Geno, but if Geno's still the guy, how do we help him out? If not, who do we put in next? Do we go with Pickett, or AOC's coming off the IR now? Do we go with him now? Because now you've got three options now. What we think should be done going forward if it's not Geno.
Yeah. I think, well, one, I do think it is Geno. Again, because strictly off the fact that we paid him the money and that he's the veteran presence and he's been starting so far. And I don't know. I think that just gives him the leeway to start, as well as what we've been saying about Chip Kelly. He's probably not thrilled on the fact that Kenny Pickett or AOC would be starting. So I just think that Geno Smith would be the starter for the rest of the year. To help him, I think to me would be to have a more balanced offense. We can't continue to lean on him. He's getting too much pressure on one player. Like that's not how we want to play. I seen it was a podcast clip. I really wish I knew what the fuck it was. But this guy he was a coach or something for the Raiders, and he was saying that in 15 scripted plays for the opening drive, they ran the ball one time. Like that in all of their scripted plays, they only scripted one run play. That is not acceptable. That is not acceptable, especially when you spend a 6th overall draft pick on Ashton Genty, who's supposed to be your bell cow every day, every down kind of back, and you only script him one play on the opening drive. That's unacceptable. That cannot happen.
Let's see. Yeah, I did see that, and I just popped it up again because I think I started to watch it, but then the guy was misnaming players on the roster. Yeah, because at one point this guy starts talking about, and this was only like a couple of days old. He's talking about Tommy Millott. Tommy Millott's not even on the roster.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I don't know why he's talking about putting him in as a starter. It didn't make sense, so I didn't really fully watch it. I'm like, this guy doesn't even know what he's talking about. He's talking about players not even here. So I'm like, I just didn't trust the video after that. So I'll have to watch it again, I guess, just in all fairness. Let's see. When is AOC ready? I don't know.
I think
do
it's after
know
the
that.
bye. He was supposed to come after.
Yeah, 'cause I thought they said by week 7, but he was still on because he's slated to come off. I think this weekend actually. I think it was this weekend coming. So which means he should be able to start finally practicing again next week. So who knows? I mean, do we automatically put him as the number 2 if the hand's fully injured? I don't see why not. He's the only one other than Geno that's been here since day one during this regime. Since Pickett came in mid-season, he's been here since training camp opened, or even during the OTAs and mini camps and all that shit. This fucking thing sucks. It keeps scrolling back on me now too. So, all right. So let's go to the running game now. I think we beat up on Geno and the quarterbacks enough now. So if we look at the running game, wide receiver, running game, the wide receivers, tight end, who's delivering and who's not? Who do you think should be like our starting wide receivers at this point? Do we still keep Jacoby in the mix, depending on his injury? Or do you think it's time to sit his ass and keep him protected? Because if he wants to trade, we don't want him hurt. Because we ain't going to get shit for him.
Right. I think depending on whether or not he's traded this week and leading up to next week, I think we do just have to continue rolling out Jacoby Myers because he's just our most talented wide receiver at this point. Um, but I think it should be a combination of Myers, Besh, Tucker, and Thorin.
What's up, Raider Travis?
Those four definitely need to be in the mix. I don't really like Bachman, to be honest. And I mean, I don't know if there's anybody even really else that's got a snap. I know they had elevated Cedric Jackson from the practice squad, but I don't know if he even got dressed for this last game. And then as far as running backs, I think both of them have been playing well in the limited time that they've and limited touches that Genty has at least gotten since the beginning of the year. But I think that he's been a really dynamic player. That's kind of unquestionable at this point. It's just the fact that we can't even get good blocking for him up front to really unleash the talent that he has. And then tight ends, it's really just been um, Michael Mayer, because Brock Bowers has been injured since week 1, and he hasn't really been Brock Bowers. But once he comes back, that's going to be a huge, huge addition to this team. I think it's going to definitely help. But Mayer has been really good, despite him also being injured at times.
Yeah,
He's been good, and then even the guys behind them. What's his name?
Ian.
Ian Thomas.
Yeah.
Ian Thomas has been pretty decent. I feel like he blocks really well, and he stepped in since Brock Bowers has been injured. So I really like him too. So I feel like they've been good as well. But I mean, we have to hit open wide receivers. I feel like this is the biggest issue as far as the wide receivers come. That's been the biggest issue, and then obviously with Thorin, it's getting open. We haven't really been getting open. So to just kind of encapsulate, it has to be a combination of Thorin, Myers, Besh, and Tucker. I feel like those are the 4 guys going forward that you have to, continue going forward with. And then the combination of Genty and Moster, I think, have been good. So obviously just keep them out there. And then Lobby's actually been playing good on special teams, so I like that. And then the tight ends, as soon as Brock Bowers gets back, that whole group is going to be different.
Well, it hopefully changes the whole dynamic of the offense again too, because we know how valuable he is, and I think Geno realizes how much value he adds to that team for them too. Shout out to Rorschach for becoming a member of my channel. I appreciate you, brother.
Heck yeah.
I didn't ignore it. I didn't see it pop up. It didn't pop up in the list right away. I finally saw it. So it wasn't ignoring it. Will's in the channel. What's up, Will? What's going on,
Will?
brother? Let's see. Oh, yeah, Arnie's question. Here it is. Do we really have offensive line talent to run Chip Kelly's offense? Is it Geno, the line, the playmaker, or the play caller? Well, like Pete says, we are, we're in practice mode all the way into the regular season. Hey, he did say it. I will give Pete Carroll credit for that, because he did say it early in the preseason that it's going to be a process. We're going to be moving guys around. We're going to have to figure it out. Could take a week, could take 2 weeks, could take months, could take most of the season. Well, here we are.
Yeah.
Week 7. They still haven't figured it out because JPJ was benched on Sunday and in comes Kappa. So I think it's the offensive line, plain and simple.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's, Geno's decision making, yes, that's a problem. But his ability to be able to let plays develop with the wide receivers downfield, it's because the O-line can't block long enough to give him the time he needs, or to let the play happen when he's handing off to Genty, because as soon as he's giving the ball to Genty, defensive line's in his face already. So that's an offensive line issue, and we didn't do enough to address it between the draft, free agency, any of that. We didn't do anything that we should have done. We brought in a guy that's coming off his worst career year as an offensive lineman that we brought in from Cincinnati. We're paying him, $11 million a year to do what he's doing. We're paying $11 million a year for a backup. It's pretty much what it is because JPJ's been starting now, so he's relegated to a backup for $11 million. We didn't throw hat in the ring for Becton. We didn't try and bring in anybody else. We didn't go early in the draft and take some of the better offensive linemen that are having good years right now as a rookie, starting on these teams. You know, we grabbed 2 guys in the 3rd round, and they're not starting, and they should be. You know, our 2nd round pick's not even a regular out there like he should be, and that's not right either. You know, so I think it all comes down to the offensive line. Starts there. Because if the offensive line is bad, we can't let plays develop. We can't move the ball. Therefore, we're punting. Then the defense is back out on the field right away. So with the bad offensive line, everything just snowballs. Everything gets worse as the game goes on. You know, and this past weekend was an exact perfect example of offensive line was so bad we couldn't do anything. We couldn't get any first downs. Defense spends 44 minutes plus on the field. That's bullshit. That's bad offensive planning overall. I am way behind on the chat. Holy shit. Let's see. Checks here. What's crazy is that Brock only lost 1 game in college.
Insane.
Yeah, welcome to the Raiders, buddy. I got the 2nd tier membership so I can buy Dunkin' iced coffee. Spytech only brought in Kappa for competition for O-line. Yeah, some competition he is.
Yeah, for real.
Right? Yeah, and Thornton does need to catch the ball. Thornton needs to get open on plays that aren't where he's running full speed down the field and just beats everybody with his speed. Again, I've said this before. He's not out muscling anybody for the football. He's not strong enough. He's not a DK Metcalf. And that's what Geno's used to having is a guy like DK where he can throw the ball up and he's going to fight for it. And he's going to win those fights. Thornton ain't going to win those fights. Thornton's built like a fucking toothpick. Frank Webb is in the house. What's up, Frank? Catch up here. Oh, where the hell am I? Good Lord. I later, Rorschach, man. Thanks for popping in. Thanks for signing up for a membership. I appreciate you. Here's a good question. Do we have a chance with the Jags? Go ahead.
I mean, I think there's always a chance, of course, any given Sunday type stuff. But the way that the Jags have been playing as of recent, except for like last week, they didn't really play that well. I mean, possible, but obviously, the Jags have been pretty good recently. So I'm going to say most likely not.
I'm still holding out hope. When I do my picks next week, I'm still picking the Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
When we do predictions, I'm still picking the Raiders. I'm going to pick them for all 17 games this season. I'm never going to go against them, even though the wise man would have been like, oh, no, you take the Chiefs last week. Now, if I'm betting money on it in Vegas, then that's a different story. But, when it just comes down to you never pick against them. You don't pick against your own team, That's where I keep my fan hat on is when I'm picking them to win or lose a game. I'm always going to pick them to win because you want them to win. I don't want us to not win another game this season, but in reality, I don't see us winning another game. Do you? Based on our schedule? That's the only one that I have any hope. That and possibly the Jaguars if we catch them on an off game.
Yeah.
See, dude, this is why people don't like you because you don't stop in the chat. You just can't just sit there and watch, dude. This fucking kid is so annoying, man. I can block him on on YouTube itself, but here I got no choice but to see his fucking ass in here. Christ. Exactly, Jeff. I always pick the Titans. Yeah, I would too, man.
I don't know if they'll be active at the trade deadline. I think that, of course, Jacoby Myers seems like to be the one that's definitely going to be traded. But besides that, I don't know if they really make any other moves. Because, I don't know. There's not really the places that we need. I don't think that any are available on the market right now, especially for bigger name players that we're of course going to need, like corner or offensive line. Those guys don't really get traded mid-season like that, especially not like really good ones. So I think the only trade that I think is possible is Jacoby Myers, really. And I mean, even then, that's the kind of like a given thing at this point. It seems like.
From the Fabio, yeah. I gotta kind of agree with you. Yeah, Accelerate's the same guy, but that's all right. I just went to Nate's channel and just fucking booted him for 24 hours. So I've had enough. That's part of the reason why I didn't see Rorschach's membership thing, because everything's just fucking blowing right through because of this kid. He doesn't stop. What about draft capital? We're not going to get draft capital. We talked about that with Jacoby. I think at the most, a fourth round. If we even end up trading him, who knows?
Right.
I
think it would be smart to trade him because he doesn't seem like he's going to re-sign here. And obviously, he's not happy here. So I think it would just be best to part ways and get something for him before it's too late. And, we just let him walk in free agency because that was just not – that wouldn't be smart as an organization, to be honest.
No. I see Dave's the same way. I never ever pick our opponent. I don't either. What's up, Raider Chavez? What's going on, man? We have the money. That's the thing that's annoying to me. Yeah, we do have the money, but again, there's nobody out there now, so we're stuck.
There's no way they don't have a plan for that money, though. That's what I'm thinking. Like, there's no way that they don't see somebody coming up in free agency or, whatever it may be for a trade or, whatever it is to utilize that money. The fact that they just are going to stow it, like, obviously, I don't know if it's going to be this year, but they definitely have a plan to utilize that money. I don't know if we, again, see it this year, but they have something for it.
Well, even if, let me see here. That's a good question because now, let me see if we go to, I just want to see who's free agents at the end of this season. So if we go for the all right, so there'll be free agents for the 2026 season.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And this is all teams, all positions. Number one on the list is Trey Hendrickson.
Mm-hmm.
He'll be a free agent. His market value is $34 million. Then you look at some of the other guys. Now, the next two are wide receivers: Mike Evans, Christian Kirk, and Debo.
This is off of what they're getting paid right now, right?
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
It's ranked from highest salary going down.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's Trey Hendrickson, Mike Evans, Christian Kirk, then Khalil Mack, then Debo, and now your first offensive lineman is Braden Smith from the Colts, right tackle. Travis Kelce's probably going to retire after this year because he's a free agent next year. Then there's another right tackle from Arizona, Jonah Williams. Then you got two guards from Cleveland. Hey, Daniel Jones is in there. I'm looking to see who's the highest or who's the first center that pops up.
I gotta say, I'm gonna agree with Don Trippus here. Khalil Mack and Crosby would be insane, and you wouldn't have to pay the premium that you would have to get for Trey Hendrickson. I think that would be sick.
Where is
People
it?
could dust off their Khalil Mack jerseys too.
Nope, not that one. Where the hell is it? Oh, there it is.
Yeah, right.
Khalil Mack and Crosby. Yeah, that would be. I mean, hey, we could have had that all along, to be honest with you, if we never would have got rid of Khalil to Chicago.
Well, I don't think
we
draft Max Crosby with that fourth round pick if we still have Khalil Mack.
I don't know. We might have. Who knows?
Well, I guess probably would have, because technically we got Cleve Farrell that was supposed to be the heir apparent to what
Yeah, true.
Lamech.
True. So, what's your thoughts on playing Moser and Genty equally, even in some two-back sets? I still think Genty should get the bulk of the carries. He's the best option
I
back
agree.
there to break one, to do something. And you gotta remember, Mostert's no spring chicken, for a running back. He's up there. Two back sets, I don't know. Have we run any this year with Kelly's offense?
I remember once. I remember
The only time I've seen
once.
two guys in the backfield was when Michael Mayer was out there as a
A
lead block.
fullback. Yeah.
Yeah. Tilly, please explain to me why fans are obsessed with Arch Manning. I don't see anything special. Give me Indiana's QB. Sorry, I'm being random. Now I'll shut up. That's like, I know him personally. He used to be on the fire department with me. Yeah, I don't know the obsession with Arch Manning either. I think it's the name more than anything.
For sure.
Yeah, he's not coming out next year. There's
No
no way
way.
he's coming out for the 26th draft.
No.
That whole Manning family will say no. They're like, no, you stay in college. In Pete's mind, which team or teams are our rivals? In his mind, none.
His
Based on what he
mind
said.
is probably the Rams, Cardinals, and Niners.
Because he's still living in the NFC West. Yeah, Dave, we'll talk later. I'll hit you up tomorrow at some point. We can talk about that. I'd have to look around. I don't have anything off the top of my head. Let's see. Khalil Mack, Crosby. Yep, that's the one. Pete's mind, the Cardinals. Yeah. Tyler Lockett. We're getting our asses kicked in LA.
But we're going to outnumber them in their own stadium still.
Yeah, we'll outnumber them, but you watching this game tonight, it's just as bad as Sunday's game for us. Let's see. Offensive Favre should start QB. It'll give the team a spark, in the storyline with him so far is like what could have been if Pierce started him. Nah. Watching the Chargers, Broncos, Chiefs lately, we are screwed getting blown out. Yeah, I'm telling you, we're gonna go 0-6 this year. There's no way we're beating any of those three teams. Best chance to do it would be the Chiefs, the last game of the season, if they're sitting there, guys, because they've moved up and they end up locking in the number one seed again, which very well could happen. So don't put that past them yet, because they're not that far out of that race. Accelerated. Nate, what's your ideal offensive scheme right now?
Ooh.
I can answer that. One where we score points.
Yeah, I know.
Can we just go with that?
I think, to me, my personal favorite that I think would also actually work for this would be a West Coast type offense, because the pushing of the ball downfield has not worked at all. Like, to me, I know people are going to go crazy, but I love John Gruden's offense. If you watch any tape or any breakdowns of how John Gruden runs his offensive scheme, I freaking love it. He complements, I think, the run in the pass game so well that I don't understand why a lot of other teams don't adopt his philosophies. But obviously, to have John Gruden is one thing and stuff like that. But I think a West Coast type offense, because Geno Smith is pretty decisive in his decision making, especially when it's quick passes here and there. And I think that's the kind of game plan and kind of scheme that we should be running, because I think it would work. And then you complement that with the power run game behind that, especially with someone like Ashton Genty, who is known to be a power kind of back, even though he's shorter in stature. I think that would be really nice. I mean, going out of shotgun out of this time, running, I can't think of what it's called right now, the zone scheme, especially when we're not getting a push off the line of scrimmage. That's that's what we can't run the zone, especially when our offensive line is getting absolutely blown back. That it just makes no sense. So to me, it would be running a power run scheme behind really JPJ right up the middle there. I think that would be really nice to see.
I can live with that. Pete Leo says Pete is so delusional he thinks that our rival is Notre Dame. He might be suffering from some early onset of dementia.
Just a little bit.
Well, you guys are just ripping on the poor guy. Pete's game planning is watching Sesame Street in the video room. Wow.
Wow. Yeah. That's going to be a bad game for sure.
Oh, this one here?
The Broncos.
Vance Joseph? That the one you're talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this game's not too good right now, too. In San Diego, the Chargers just intercepted them, too.
Damn.
Pete kills by... yeah. So if we look at I brought up some offensive stats through the first 7 games. So right now, obviously our passing leader is Geno Smith. He's got 1,425 yards through 7 games. It's not bad, but it's not that great either. So that still works out to what? Just a little over about probably going to end up on our for the season with about 3,300 yards would be my thought, like around there. I mean, it's not bad. It's not that great either. It's not what we expected with this team. We expected him to be pushing that 4,000 range. It's not even going to come close to that. Depending on how much he plays, too. We still don't know how much he's going to even play the rest of the season. If they're going to finally say, you know what, that's it, we're done. And Genti's up there in rushing yardage, though, through 7 games. He's got 656 yards. That's out. So far, he's on pace. He's on pace to be a little over about 1,300 if we keep it at that. And I think what's helped him here, though, too, is that one big game he had with running the ball.
Yeah.
Take that out of the equation and, go with the average that he's been doing. That hurts. This is what sucks, is the receiving yards. Trey Tuck is leading with 356 yards.
Crazy.
That's peanuts. But that also means that's also Geno spreading the ball a little bit more. But again, that's also significant to the fact that Brock Bowers isn't out there. Because Brock Bowers should be the one with the most yardage if he didn't get hurt. Based on how he played last year. If you look at what he did last year versus what we thought he was going to do this year, we would have thought he'd be the leading receiver. On defense, obviously, our sack leader is Max. What's he up to? 6, 5?
Something like that, yeah.
It didn't pull up the numbers for me. I know we kind of already talked about who's your first benching after the bye. We didn't really. Did you pick one? I forget if you did or not.
I didn't really pick one because, like I said, that we don't really have a lot of depth behind starters.
All right, so let's look at this then. So we've talked players, we've talked stats. Who in the coaching staff do you think is on the hot seat, if there is one?
I honestly think that this is the last year of Patrick Graham that we have, though. I don't think he's on the hot seat. I don't think that's because he's done a bad job. I think he's going to want out after this, though, for sure. I don't think Chip Kelly's on the hot seat because he is getting paid the most offensive coordinator in the league. He's the highest paid offensive coordinator. So I don't think really – I mean, a person that should be on the hot seat is definitely Brendan Carroll, but he is not going to be – he's not going to be on the outs. It really should be Chip Kelly for the performances that he's put up. It's tough, but again, I don't think he's going to be. I think the only person who's going to be on the out in the coaching staff is going to be Patrick Graham because he wants to be out. So, yeah.
Leo says he's going to the Broncos game in Vegas, and he goes, "I just realized I'm going to see ass whoopings back to back." Don says he's going to order a custom jersey soon, number 25, with the name in the back that says 96 yards. So 15 years from now, when we win, I can show the battle scars. Let's fucking go Raiders 2040. God. I think we have like 3. Yeah, we don't have a lot of interceptions. We really don't have a lot of sacks either.
Yeah.
We really don't. Yeah, and he does, Big Luck. You're right, too. Genty does fight for his life every game. You know, I mean, what was that game he had 100 and something yards? It was, 135 yards total, and I think 134 came after his first contact or something like that. It was some weird stat. Yeah, there you go, Bueno. How many yards does Geno have to opposing team? Tucker has improved his hands. He's done the work. Tucker, you know what? As much as everybody didn't like him going into the season, a lot of people gave him a lot of shit last year. He stepped up. If it wasn't for him, we really wouldn't be moving the ball much at all.
Mm-hmm.
Our starters are death players at best. Yeah. Yeah, we got a team full of backups, is what it feels like. That's for damn sure. So what? There's no cap hit with coaches. We can get rid of Kelly if we want.
I agree.
They're still on a contract. We'd still have to pay them.
Because exactly. I think the fact that we did pay him is the reason why we're not going to let him go. Although we can, I'm not saying we can't. It's just the fact that we did. I think it's gonna hinder us from, leaving from him or parting with him.
And Ani's right too. The difference between us and the Chargers is they put their money where their mouth is with their offensive line. Granted, they've been hit hard with injuries. You can't account for that. I mean, that's just the thing that happens. You know. I ain't even gonna watch the Broncos game. If I wanted to see it spanking, I'd watch it.
I'm dead.
So where was I here? I guess one of the questions I had on here is the staff building or just treading water until the off season? I feel like we're just treading water at this point.
Yeah, I agree.
There's nothing special that's being done with this team. Mm-hmm. Nothing. So I got a question for you. So after the bye week, so we've got Jacksonville first. What do we have after that one? Do you have it up?
I don't. Let's see. Schedule. Jacksonville, then the Broncos on Thursday.
Oh. All right. So let's say hypothetical. It's going to be more possible, actually, more realistically. We lose both those games. Do you think there's a change made with any of the coaching staff at that point? Or do you think we still just stick it out for the rest of the season?
I'm sorry, say that again?
If we lose both those games, because don't forget, so we got Jacksonville, then we've got Denver on a Monday night.
Thursday,
and then the game after that is the Cowboys game.
On a Monday, yeah.
So we could come out of this bye 0-3 after these next 3 games. So we got 2 primetime games and a Jaguar game. I'm going to say all 3 of them. Say we don't win any one of those 3. At that point, your season's over. You got no shot. I mean, realistically, mathematically, we're still in it, but we can't compete enough to make a playoff run. Unless some miracle happens during the bye week and we just come out and we blow everybody away. Do you think there's any coaches that are possibly looking to be on the outs? You think?
I don't. No, honestly, I don't. Um, I think everyone's gonna finish the season out. Only then, at the end of the year, do I think that it's possible for maybe, but I don't think coaches get fired. I think um, Mark Davis is definitely going to give Pete Carroll, Chip Kelly, and if Patrick Graham wants to stay, Patrick Graham too, the time to build this team in whatever image they want to. Obviously, it's not out to a good start, but I think this is the coach that Mark Davis is going to be patient with for sure.
And Arnie says, when is Betch and Thornton going to stop making a difference? Need more targets? Well, it's kind of hard for them to get targets when we only have 30 plays in an entire game. That hurts.
Yeah.
You know, offensive line, like I said earlier, offensive line being so bad hurts. You know, so how much of it is their fault? Also, on top of that, you know, if we're not getting enough plays in because you got a lot of mouths to feed. You know, Genti only touching the ball 7 times, I think in total, 6 runs and 1 pass play that he caught the ball.
Yeah.
7 times that ball was in his hands. That's nowhere near enough. But when we can't get first downs and sustain a drive, and we only get the ball for 17, almost 18 minutes, that's tough. That's tough to distribute it to the guys. You know, that type of game, that's not the game that's going to happen. You know, those games are going to be like the Titans game, the Patriots game, you know, where we're going against, you know, a lesser defenses where we can move the ball a little bit more freely. Even the Bears game, we moved the ball pretty damn good. Even the Redskins, we still moved the ball, you know.
A little late, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Arnie says, next press conference, Pete, for the love of God, please stop Pickett, play all rookies, second-year players, tell Raider Nation. We're starting to rebuild, going for number 1 pick in the draft. Be honest, no coach talk.
Honestly, and if that does happen hypothetically,
Thanks,
like,
Accelerator.
thank you, man. I could respect that, you know, going for a full rebuild, but that's not going to happen. Again, because like we said yesterday, like then there's no point of hiring Pete Carroll at that point because he is only allotted so much time, and if you're going for the first, you know, for the number 1 pick in the draft, it's not that you're not going to have enough time to flip a team after getting the number 1 pick. It's really difficult to do. Obviously, there's outliers and stuff like that, of course, but it's really difficult to be, you know, a number 1 overall draft pick team and then flip a team completely after that with no foundation as well.
Yeah.
We don't really have a foundation to do that kind of thing either.
No.
Because people are going to say, you know, Jaden Daniels or Caleb Williams or, you know, whoever it is, but they're yeah.
The other thing you got to look at too is he's only guaranteed 2 more seasons after this based on his contract.
Mm-hmm.
So are we going to go and get a rookie quarterback that you know is going to be here or you want him to be here for the long haul, drafted by a coach that's only going to be here for guaranteed the next 2 years, possibly 3 years if we take that option? Either way, you want to coach. When you draft a rookie quarterback like that, you want a coach that you know is going to be able to be here for 8-9 years, possibly, because if they have good chemistry and the quarterback's playing, the O-line gets fixed, you know, you want that to be sustained for a while. You don't want to have them come in and 2 years later with a rookie quarterback, all of a sudden the coach is gone. They bring in a new coach. He brings in a whole new regime, coaches and everything. Now this still a young quarterback is now going to relearn a completely different offensive scheme because no 2 offensive coordinators run the same type of system to a T. Everybody's got their own little twist to it, you know. So that's another thing you got to look at. You know, people want to fire a coach right away. You have to look at that. That could turn into a negative in the long run, which is why sometimes we never get a chance to watch a quarterback develop. The closest we've had was been Derek Carr, but sometimes we just didn't have the right pieces around him. He didn't make the best decisions. We're changing offensive coordinators. You know, there's just so much fluctuation with this roster and this team and everything involved in it. It just hurts.
Yeah.
You know? So I got some questions that I want to ask the chat and yourself and see what you guys have for answers. It's not like a yes or no type of thing. These are questions that are based on the rest of the season. So we're in the bye week. We come off the bye week. We're going to play the Jaguars. All right. So realistic projection figure 5 or 6 wins overall for the season. Okay. Possibly catch up to that 9 if we turn it around. So, what does that say? I don't know. Here it is. How many wins do you see for the rest of the season for the Raiders? If you had to look at the schedule and just throw a number out there, how many do you see for the rest of the season for us?
Yeah, I have it up right here. Let's see. So actually, after Jacksonville, I think I'm just gonna say possible ones. Let's just go with possible at first. Possible Jacksonville, Dallas possible, Cleveland possible.
Do you have it so you can put it up on the screen?
Yeah, hold on.
Because I'll put it up there. Because there's another question that's going to lead where if we see the list, it'll be easier.
You can see it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So week 7. All right. So, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I see it.
Jacksonville, I think it's possible if we catch them on a bad game, of course. So that's one possible. I think Dallas is possible depending on which Dallas team we get because they can be bad or good. Cleveland, I think is possible. And Houston, I think is possible. So 4. I think 4 possible. I think 2 we should, which is Cleveland and maybe Houston.
So you're saying Big Lock says 2. Accelerator says 3 more. 2 surprise victories and 1 end of the season win. Okay.
I think that's possible too because if the Kansas City Chiefs, just not start any of their starters at week 18, then
yeah,
of course.
I think that could definitely be part of that too. Ani wants to know who we would draft with the first pick. I have no clue right now. I haven't even begun to look at the rankings and who's doing what in college. But the way we're going, it looks like we're going to start looking into that sooner than later.
I don't love Fernando Mendoza either.
I've heard that. I have heard that name come up a lot. I have.
So this is really early draft predictions. They have Fernando Mendoza going to the Jets. Ruben Bain, if we had the number 1 overall, I would draft Ruben Bain number 1 overall. Keldrick Falk and Peter Woods, 2 defensive linemen.
I was taking a quarterback.
Tackle, but a quarterback at 5 with Dante Moore. And I mean, I guess Dante Moore's cool, but
I don't like the way you said that.
I don't like Dante Moore either, to be honest.
I think he's cool. But
I would
maybe.
This is the year that I would do the Jeffrey thought. Trade back fucking twice if you need to.
Oh yeah.
Just accumulate draft picks for sure. Because they're right here in the middle of the draft. I think you can get much better people like Carnell Tate, Jeremiah Love. Obviously, we're not in the mood for a running back or in the market for a running back, but still.
Yeah.
Jordan Tyson, even obviously it's just a couple picks down here, but Caleb Downs after that as well. Like I think this is a little bit better of an area for where we should be picking on top of accumulating more draft picks. So
is that still a first round?
Like,
How does what's
Makai Lemon?
Was that from a trade?
Probably. This is what's it called? The Jaguars, because they traded up.
That's right. Oh, for the Travis Hunter one, right?
Yeah, because this is Cleveland's original pick here, and then this is the Travis Hunter pick. So because look at I like Makai Lemon, I like Caden Proctor, I like Mateo. Like I think this is a much better spot right here because this is still even too rich for our own blood than what we need to be drafting at. Like I don't know. I don't like Dante Moore. He couldn't even freaking get a starting spot at UCLA.
I already said Dante Moore doesn't like you either.
That's fine. That's fine.
So with the guesses or with the predictions on what you think for the wins, right? So there's follow-ups to this. I'm gonna scroll back to it. Shit. Where the hell did it go? Out of the remaining schedule, which game do you think, if we were to win, would be a shock? Like if we pulled off a win against a specific team out of that remaining schedule.
1,000% shock would be absolutely Philadelphia. 1,000%.
It would be nice because I'm going to be at that game, so
that would be a shock. That would be awesome.
I could agree with that one. I in Philly in the cold in December, a week before Christmas.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be. You know what? That would make that 4.5 hour, 5 hour ride home that much better because we're heading home right after the game. So I'm either going to ride home happy and cold, or I'm going to be pissed off and cold. So obviously we're not contending, we're not rebuilding, we're stuck somewhere in like purgatory right now. You know, we're in no contention for anything other than getting as early of a draft pick as we possibly can at this point. Do you disagree with that?
No, I don't.
I don't think so. I mean, how much can we beat this to death? What we need? I mean, we need O-line. Yeah, we need a quarterback. I'm not going to deny we don't need a quarterback, but we need O-line bad. That's our blaring weakness, our biggest weakness. And it was our biggest weakness going into the offseason last year. I don't know how that did not get addressed. Still drives me nuts. Pretty much it, really. I don't have anything. I mean, Jacksonville, I think we could match up with well enough to hopefully pull off the win in 2 weeks. I'm hoping that we do it. I think either way, it's going to be another close game. I don't think it's going to be like a huge point spread if we win it. And if we lose it, it could go the complete opposite direction. Because don't forget, he's still going up against Travis Hunter, who's fast. He's good. You know, our corners probably won't be able to cover him very well either. You know, so I'm still picking us to win, obviously, but realistically,
there's honestly some pretty good names here in free agency that I would not mind.
For what positions? Oh, for next year, you mean?
Next year, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because right now there ain't shit out there right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, Arnie, that's what I was saying too. If the Chiefs not as we could possibly. Yeah, we should too secure the first pick. We're not going to get the first pick because I don't think the Jets are going to win any more games either because they are awful. They are bad.
They're very bad.
That's one hopeful thing we have is that the Jets are worse than we are. You know, as long as they stay worse going into next year, because we're going to play them next year in New York. So I want them to be shitty.
That's the game I actually want to go. I'm looking to go to
New York.
Next year.
Dude, how awesome would that be if it's 2 weeks back to back? It's a New England and then the Jets game.
That'd be pretty sick.
The only difference is I don't see us winning the New England game next year unless we have some serious changes. We got lucky this year. We caught them at the right time. I got nothing else. I pretty much covered everything I had laid out here.
Nice.
You got anything coming up? I mean, you got a video coming out tomorrow?
I'm trying to still figure out an idea. I'm probably going to do it right after this. The question is, what exactly is it that I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to put out a video tomorrow for sure, though, because my last video did very well. So I want to kind of capitalize on the momentum I got on right now.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So I'm still trying to figure out an idea though. So I have no clue. So it'll be just as big a surprise for everybody else as it will be for me tomorrow, whatever gets uploaded.
Arnie, I'm rooting for the Jets and Titans to win games while we lose.
No, really though.
You got anything else going on, or not until next week?
Yeah, not until next week. Where Tuesday, I'm gonna have to probably figure out something as well, because that's normally the reaction. So I'm probably gonna have to figure out two. And then Wednesday, Thursday, of course, Raider Connection and Raiders Coast to Coast, and then Friday will be the regular preview for the Jags game next week.
Yep. So next Thursday on the connection, the Raiders Coast to Coast with Nate and I, we'll do a little bit more on the breakdown of us and the Jaguars for that weekend game. Seeing as though there's no game this weekend to cover, it's gonna be nice having this weekend off, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, really.
Just I'll tell you the other thing that's nice too is I'm looking forward to the primetime games because that's 2 Sundays in a row. I get to stay home and just watch football from start to finish. Don't have to go to the bar, which is gonna suck because I'm gonna miss hanging with everybody. But I like my bye weeks. It's a chance to kind of just chill.
Yeah,
Especially the weather's changing. Halloween's next weekend too.
Yeah.
So as far as shows for me, I got tomorrow night, the normal Friday night. Chris probably won't be on. I think he was trying to take a week off. So I will be on Friday night. I'll start it off. If you're around tomorrow night, I'm gonna do like I always do. I'll put the link in the Raider Connection chat.
Yeah.
So
sure.
tomorrow night, 9:00 Eastern, will be the Friday Night Live open mic show. So we'll definitely be doing that again tomorrow night. Start at 9:00 Eastern time, 6:00 Pacific. Saturday night, we're not doing a last call podcast show. I may do a Saturday night. I'm seriously. I think I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to do a show Saturday night, but it might be just another pull-up type show on Saturday night too. We'll see, but I'm definitely going to be on Saturday night. I think that's a definite. And then I'm off until Monday. No, we're not even going to do Monday morning quarterback because there's no game to do.
Right.
I'm seriously contemplating going live on Sunday during the game. I'm going to ask the question tomorrow night. If I were to go live during the game and do like a watch party, which game on this schedule this weekend would everybody be interested in?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Jumping in and watching live.
Mm-hmm. I'm thinking about doing that tomorrow too for the baseball game, but maybe not.
Tomorrow's game 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
In LA or Toronto?
Toronto.
Oh, so they get the extra game.
Yeah.
Toronto. What time's that game start?
I don't know, actually.
It's probably going to start earlier because it's an East Coast game.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think 5 my time. Maybe 4.
So it's 8:00 mine.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather listen to Jeff than Troy Aikman.
Yeah, it starts at 5 my time tomorrow.
All right, so 8:00 mine. Well, I'll probably have it on here anyway. This is like the only time I watch baseball is the World Series.
The World Series.
Yeah, it's the 2 best teams in the league, so I'll tend to watch those. Same thing with hockey. I'll watch the playoffs. So, by the way, Jeff, this situation with my teeth and health is finally getting squared away. All right, yeah. When you're ready, whenever it's your pace, bro. Whenever you're ready to start doing what you're doing, let me know, and I'll work with you. Whatever you need from me, I'll help you out, get you going. So, all right. Well, everybody, it's been a stressful, fun, shitty ass week talking to this awesome team and how good we played on this past Sunday. So, until next time, I'll see you tomorrow night. Nate, if you're going to be doing a live for the game, or
I don't know yet, honestly. I'm probably just going to upload a video sometime during the day. But
I'll be live anyway, so
Yeah.
if you want to come on in. So I'll see everybody else tomorrow night, 9 o'clock Eastern time, 6 o'clock Pacific. And as I always say, stay safe and go Raiders.
As Charles Woodson would say, Raiders. Yeah.